So who are the three defensive tackles you think the Browns could target? Again, I know you wrote an article from the Combine about this.
Yeah, well, one was Fisk actually, and I do think it was those testing numbers. For as much as we've talked about the testing numbers, they were impressive. I do think with him though, and I've seen people get down on his size a lot. 6'4", 292 was what he weighed in as. So he's got the height, maybe not enough weight that most teams would want. But I do think that athleticism is impressive. The NFL does their athleticism score outside of the combine. He got an 89, which was the highest amongst all DTs there this year. So I think he's interesting. He seems athletic. I haven't watched him a ton, but the quote that stuck out to me from Lance Zierlein in his scouting report was, once he finds daylight, he flies to whoever has the ball. And I think to me that just sounded like a Jim Schwartz guy, knowing the athleticism. So I like him. I also love Mason Smith. I know he met with the Browns last week. It sounded like on both sides that meeting went really well. He got some hands-on time with Jim Schwartz. And what's interesting about him, like Fisk, he has something that would make teams pause, which is for him, he tore his ACL. He missed his entire sophomore year in 2022, all but 8 snaps of it. And I think that might scare some teams away. But when he walked up to the podium at the combine and I had a chance to listen to him, I was like, this kid looks unlike anyone else who's talking right now. And he alluded to that he likes the fact he doesn't look like a ton of other D tackles. He's 6'5", 306. I mean, he walked up there and I'm like, he looks like an edge rusher and not an interior guy. He's gotten after quarterbacks, though. Again, I think he would fit in really nicely in this Jim Schwartz scheme, and he has a lot of traits that Andrew Berry has typically gone for. He's got size, he's an SEC product, he's young, he's only 21, and he's a former 5-star recruit from the South, and we know Andrew has been drawn to those guys in the past. And the other guy is Chris Jenkins out of Michigan. He's a guy I've been interested in just because Bruce Feldman over at The Athletic does his annual list of freaks in college football. It's a positive thing, meaning they are athletic freaks. Chris Jenkins made that list last year. He came in 6th place, and at the combine weighed in 6'3", 299. So actually, he's a little bit smaller than Fisk, but I haven't heard a ton about Jenkins' size, but I assume that would also be the hang-up with teams for him that might allow him to drop to the 2nd round. But again, he is a guy who he got after quarterbacks during this title run for Michigan, 2 sacks and 18 hurries this past year.